It's only been 2 weeks and it already feels like too much. Hello and welcome back to Resist 47, and I'm here with a video in which I'm going to talk about whether or not we should trust Elon Musk. But before I get to that and kind of talk about what's going on there, if you don't already know, let me just point out that there is so much going on and there's so much noise coming from the Trump administration and executive orders and ridiculous statements about us taking over Gaza or us, forcing Canada to become the 51st state that it's kind of hard sometimes to dig through what's important, what's not important, or to, decide to focus on a single issue. Let me just suggest to all of you out there, if you are among those who call or write your congressman or senator on a regular basis, don't feel like you have to address every single issue yourself. You can't possibly do that. Trump has already stirred up multiple ridiculous issues in just a few weeks. So, pick and choose, give yourself a break. Don't feel like you have to be in it every single day. It's still almost 2 years until the midterm elections, the first time in which voters will have a chance to change things. So, pace yourself, pick your issues, contact your congressman, do whatever else you can about those issues, and then, let some of the other stuff go by, let some of the rest of us pick up on those things. So what I want to talk about today is trusting Elon Musk. Now, I spend a lot of time on social media jousting with MAGA, with right-wing people, with Trump supporters, and with, Musk's fan base. And one of the things that has become clear to me since the new Trump administration is that a lot of people who had a lot of faith in Trump because he was a billionaire businessman with a great reputation have simply transferred that faith to Elon Musk. And this should terrify us because none of us voted for Elon Musk. At least, I don't think any of us voted for Musk. He can't actually be president. And yet Trump has invested in him with a tremendous amount of government power, or at least seeming government power. Probably most disturbing of those is that Musk and his team of 6 former interns, all of whom I believe were either Musk interns, or I think one of them interned for Peter Thiel and one of them interned at Meta for Mark Zuckerberg, that this team of interns who have connections to billionaires have been given access to the United States Treasury files and to the United States Treasury payment system. And this could either be, completely harmless and they're just looking for ways to eliminate waste, or it could be, a way for them to actually pull off a coup by shutting off money supply and payments to, agencies and groups like that. But what we do know is they're testing the water. USAID is the first, one of those that they've tested, literally shutting the offices, denying access to U.S. aid workers. My understanding is that non-essential workers at USAID around the world have been put on leave. I assume that's, paid leave, which means that it's not actually saving any money at all to cut down or to stop these or to shut down these offices. And I also believe that this is a test because I just believe this is illegal. The President of the United States, nor any of his deputies, has the power to absolutely deny disbursement of funds that have been appropriated for Congress for specific purposes. So if USAID has been allocated $70 billion by the United States Congress to spend, to distribute under the 2025 budget, which is, by the way, a series of laws, then the executive branch can't just decide that they're not going to spend that money. I think they're testing the water, seeing what the courts will put up with, and seeing what the Republicans who control the House and the Senate will put up with. And it appears the Republicans who control the House and the Senate will put up with pretty much anything. That they're willing to bend the knee and to subjugate themselves to Trump and to Musk. But giving Musk and his team of 6 access to this information violates our privacy. It violates our right to expect that our financial information is going to be secret, and it puts Musk in a tremendous amount in a position to do tremendous damage. Musk acolytes, fans, billionaire lovers, billionaire simps, whatever you want to call them, think this is fine because, Elon Musk is doing this amazing job. We keep getting these reports about all the waste that Elon Musk is finding. The $50 million for condom in Gaza, which, turned out not to be true, or at least there's no evidence that's true. But we also hear these stories about $20 million for Sesame Street in Gaza, or a certain number of millions of dollars for teach some kind of diversity in Serbia or something like that came through USA. And all these are being released without, specifics. These are just statements being released by Musk or Musk's team and Trump about all these supposed savings that have taken place. A couple things to keep in mind. These may be identified as places where we want to save money for the 2026 budget, but the money for that has already been appropriated. And like I said, as far as I know, the executive branch can't just decide to tell not to spend the money that Congress tells it to spend, because those spending bills are in fact laws. So these may be areas that Musk is identifying for future savings. And if that's the case, then that's probably the most benign way to look at this. But another thing you have to keep in mind is that Musk is, like most business people, like Trump, like most people in his position, is a bit of a con artist. He's a bit of a huckster. He's talking about saving us hundreds of billions of dollars just in waste, or maybe even $1 trillion in waste. So let me just inform you of a very basic fact. The 2025 budget contains less than $800 billion of non-military discretionary spending. That means that there are only $800 billion that the government is spending on everything other than the military, Social Security, Medicare, and interest on the debt. So if you're going to cut $1 trillion from the United States budget, you either have to start by eliminating all non-military discretionary spending, which would be devastating, or that means you're planning on cutting the military, which seems unlikely, or Social Security and Medicare, which seems far more likely. So when you hear Musk talking about all these savings, keep in mind that he is looking at cutting benefits upon which lots of Americans depend, and entitlements into which all Americans have paid. And that's far different than maybe finding a few $1 million here or there that shouldn't be spent on some kind of government program. Fair enough. I'm not one of those people who doesn't think there's waste in the United States budget. I definitely do. But I think the place to eliminate that waste is in Congress, since the Constitution gave Congress the power to collect and spend funds. That's where that power lies, and not with Elon Musk. So one of the things that I fear with Elon Musk is that even though he cannot be president of the United States, enough people in Trump's orbit, enough MAGA, are essentially treating Musk as though he is this genius hero who's going to solve all our economic problems by cutting all this waste from the government. And they're willing to, allow him a tremendous amount of latitude and power to do that. Power which he should not be able to wield, power which threatens the Constitution, power which gives him far more control of the United States government than anyone in his position should have. In addition to that, he like I said, he is clearly lying. A lot of this spending, or what a lot of Americans want, I think, from the thought of us saving money and not wasting money, is that if we spend less, that they will be taxed less. Well, the other part of this is that Trump's tax plan is primarily going to benefit, or almost exclusively going to benefit, wealthy people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Zuckerberg and Trump and Bezos and Gates and those kind of people. That's who's going to benefit most, but also corporations. So the oligarchs and their businesses are going to get huge tax cuts, and you're not. So what they're really talking about here, if you haven't picked up on this, is cutting their taxes and cutting government programs which might benefit you. They're cutting taxes. They're looking to cut spending so that they can justify cutting their own taxes. Cutting spending hurts you. Cutting those taxes helps them. Please keep these kind of ideas in mind. Get to the heart of the matter on these things and try to educate other people as much as you possibly can. Anyway, I look forward to your comments in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching.